Alright, choosing the right rod and reel for kokanee fishing is important. Which one should I use? In this episode, I will be talking about that. Does make a difference how many fish you can land. Oh my goodness. Hello, my name is J.U. You stumble into J.U. Nation Fishing Channel. I'm in the middle of making a 6-part video regarding kokanee salmon fishing. This is episode number 4. In this episode, I will be sharing with you the rods and reels that I use. And to share with you, does it matter? This is one of the reasons why it is so addicting to fish for kokanee. You don't really need any expensive rods or reel. I've demonstrated that in the past. You know I love to fish big game. I have rods that fish for sturgeon and salmon. And I've caught kokanee on both of those rods. I've caught kokanee on my sturgeon rod called a Boss Hog 1.0. Additionally, I was with Warren on one trip and I forgot my kokanee rods. And we used our salmon rods. And we caught 20 kokanee. Those are the ones that we landed. We didn't count the one that we missed.
I bet we lost probably, what do you guess, 50, 60?
Too many to count for sure.
I brought the wrong rods and J.U. forgot his rods. So we had just a big salmon rods from fishing in the river with us, and they're a little stiff for these kokanee.
So if you just want to catch fish and have fun, I don't believe that rods and reel matter as much. But I'm going to go in details of the advantages of having a correct rod and reel. Now if you're using stiff rod, such as my sturgeon rod or salmon rod, and you want to actually land the fish, you really need a rubber snubber. There are 2 types of rods, right? There's casting rods, and then there's spinning rods. You can use either one of them, whatever you have, as long as the rod tip is soft. If your rod is a heavy rod, spinning reel or casting reel, you're going to need that rubber snubber. That's why in episode 1, I showed you how to make your own rubber snubber. Because rubber snubber's action is to give a stretch when the kokanee is trying to get away. And on stiff line, if there's no stretch, they can easily shake your hook off. Most anglers, including myself, we prefer using the casting rod while going after kokanee. Why? It's because most of the casting rod have a counter on them, and you can actually count the correct distance, the setback behind the boat that you have the most success with. There's nothing wrong with spinning reels, except with spinning reel, you do not know the correct setback. Most of them, you just toss them out there, and your success rate will be a lot less than a casting reel. With that being said, I have 2 types of casting reel. A big one that I put my Leadcore lines on, and that one has a counter because it's important for me to let the line out and know how deep it's going down. The Leadcore typically for every 10 yards goes down by 5 feet. I'm right-handed, but I prefer left-handed casting reel. To me, it just seems more natural to reel with my left hand. As I'm casting it out, I don't have to switch hand. I just reel in with my left hand. Here is the rod that I'm using for my Leadcore line. It's a Shakespeare Alpha Graphite 7-foot medium. I don't think they make them anymore. Here's a big old reel that I found that can handle the Leadcore line. Fairly inexpensive reel, Thunder LS30L model. I mentioned to you, I prefer the left-handed model, and this has been working out really well for me. My other go-to rod is a Eagle Claw Featherlight Kokanee, 7 feet and 6 inches casting, medium light. I'm going to be honest with you. There's one thing I don't like about this rod is that it is a 2-piece rod, and it is super difficult to take the pieces apart. So once I connect it together, I don't take them apart anymore. I keep it as is if it's one piece. So if you guys have a trick to take it apart, let me know. I couldn't figure out how to take it apart easily. Very difficult to take apart. That's the only drawback. Otherwise, it is a fantastic rod for trout and kokanee fishing. The reel that I have been having great success with is this really inexpensive reel called Landlocked. 10-pound test line I have on here. But I'm swapping this out now, because like I mentioned to you, this don't have a count on it. So from now moving forward, I'm gonna use Okuma. This is the Okuma model I'm using. I'm switching over to MA20DLXT. So this is my new reel with a count on it. It looks very, very doable. So moving forward to the future, you won't see me pulling lines out anymore. I just gotta look at the counter and see how much line I let out. There's a whole bunch of different rods and reel that people like to use. I'm gonna go the inexpensive route. So I'm showing you what I use, the rods and reel that I prefer. But like I said, the rod and reel that you have in your garage, I'm pretty sure is doable. So this is what I'm using. So moving forward, I'm gonna be using the one with the count on it. So this concludes this episode. So next episode, I'm going to show you the whole setup of how I put it together to go after kokanee salmon. I hope to see you back in episode number 5. So family and friends, there are lots of good fishing videos out there. Thank you so much for coming to check out my channel. Until the next time, peace out family. Woo! Bam!